Is there Christian music that the hip hop generation can listen to?
Say just with where what the Christian rap genre is doing right now, with all the other genres and Christian music are doing right now, I say yeah, definitely there is something that is appealing to somebody in the urban area. There's definitely good music out there for them to listen to and be able to engage Jesus. I think the deeper question is that music known about to them? I think it's still like the average person doesn't know it exists.
BC, I know that when you started listening to, you know, gospel hip hop, you started listening to more of it. But before that, I mean, what did you listen to, and why was it so hard for you to, get a hold of Christian hip hop?
I've always been more of an East Coast kind of cat. You know what I mean? I listened to a lot of Jay, a lot of Biggie, a lot of Outkast, a lot of Big L. I'm not sure if you got Nas. Um, who else? I used to jam that Big Pun.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with Philly's Most Wanted. I used to listen to a whole plethora of cats out in New York. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
East Coast cats, including the Outkast. And the reason why is because I felt like the music I can identify with that music. Sometimes just kind of you hear Tupac. You know what I mean? And you hear some of his lyrics, and you're like, man, I can kind of identify with that cat.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Or you hear some Jay, and you like, you're a young cat, growing up, a single-parent household. I'm like, man, Jay-Z grew up in a single-parent household. I can identify with him. I can, I'm not saying I want to be him, but you know what? I like his trajectory in life. I like how he came from nothing, came from the bottom. So I like how he started from the bottom, and he rose to the top. And so it's like, that's a story. That's a story that anybody can identify with. Well, not anybody, but most people can identify with. And so I embrace that. And so now, okay, well, that's my soundtrack of my life. And so I'll sit there and go through different times of my life, and I'll sit there and quote lyrics. I'll talk to two girls that are like big pimpin', spandin' cheese. And then I remember my father died like 2007, and I was sitting there jamming this one song by Jay, and it's like it went some along the lines of Pop died, didn't cry, didn't know him that well, from him doing heroin and me doing crack sales. I didn't necessarily touch that crack like that or nothing like that, and my dad never did heroin. But you can see you can see how my pop died, didn't cry, didn't know him that well. That's true. I didn't know him that well.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you just keep going, and I like that man's face looked just like my face. Well, since I'm my father's child, I look kind of like him, so I can identify with that.
Right.
And so you can see where now you see his trajectory.
So that's what attracted you to the music. But were you able to? Well, I mean, how did you come across like music that was Christian that you could identify to?
I wanted to change my mindset. I felt like my mindset, just like I said some of the lyrics I quoted were some of the better ones. But there's not Big Pimpin', but there's other music out there that I did not think, other lyrics that I didn't want to in my life. I wanted to become married. Well,
Right.
a lot of that stuff is not conducive to a married man. When you're hearing, got two, if your leg broke, hop on the good foot. Jay-Z,
Right.
some of the stuff it's not conducive to the lifestyle. And so to me, I'm like a mental guy, and so like I can't listen to this in a situation I want to be in, being married, I want to have a family. I don't think that's conducive because now I'm like, it doesn't. It's not a soundtrack to my life.
Some people, I mean, and maybe you were there, or I've been there, and thought, man, look, Christian rap or Christian music is whack. So I don't know if you could address maybe your thoughts on that, if you ever thought that before.
I might have been one of those people. No, at first, I loved to hate the mainstream. I was like an underground lyricist fan, like Common, the Lupe, the fresh Lupe, the old school Lupe, like that lyric, just as lyricist. I always felt like at first, I don't know. Christian hip hop was coming a little soft in that category. I felt like it was a step behind. Like, been there, heard that. We doing what they already did. We just changing up the lyrics to be God-centered, Christ-centered, God glorifying. So it took a while. And for me, I think, what BC said, you have to identify with it. So the common thread, or the thing that I was able to pick
You
out.
didn't like BBJ?
Stop. That being said, I don't want it to be a negative comment. I agree with Ronnie. I think in the past 5 years, Christian hip hop has evolved like tremendously.
Yeah.
Just the way that labels are popping up right and left. You see Cliques and Crews coming up. Reach isn't the only player in the game, and each of these different Cliques and Crews speak to a different population, and they target a different audience. And so it has evolved. The thing I could identify with the most is when people was talking about their struggles, because I don't think we're used to seeing people in position, leadership, especially church leadership, that's able to come back and talk about their sins, their struggles, their temptations, and just to do it using hip hop. That was the first connection I made with Christian hip hop.